Hello and welcome Libra to your December messages. So keep in mind these are collective in general, so receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Never give your power away to a reading or an outcome. Remember that you're conscious creator and you shift and change your timeline with your free will choice. So this is for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Now, these spreads have been really powerful for December because they're kind of a reflection on the year as well. So let's go ahead and get into it, Libra. So we start out with a really powerful card for you, Ascending Stitches. Reach new heights and strive for personal development in your journey, embroidered enlightenment. So you are creating your timeline in December. You are taking your power back. You are focusing and being present and powerful and embodied, and you are ascending. Okay, maybe your career is ascending, maybe your frequency, of course, is ascending. Love could be ascending, your own personal, just energy in general. We do have the energy of past life coming through. The situation involves past life memories. Now, if you don't believe in past lives, that's okay. It could represent just the past energy in general. And that's what a lot of people are thinking about, in the month of December on the holiday season, is everyone's reflecting on, on the past and, very nostalgic, right? So there is this opportunity to heal in December for you Libras. And then we have, I love this, Sandpiper Spirit, be playful. So be playful, be fun. The holidays can be heavy and dense. They can be bittersweet. There can be a lot of stress, pressure, a lot of, we can get pulled in different directions and everything. So it's important that you kind of keep a lighthearted spirit, do things that are fun, be playful. And sometimes when you're the playful energy, if everyone's like stressed out and like you're being playful, you kind of lead the way, make people laugh, and remind them what it's truly about. The holiday season isn't about everything looking perfect or, fulfilling everyone's wishes. It's not about the materialism. It's about enjoying time together. And so you might be the frequency shifter in your family or in your friend group or at work where you're just kind of playful and lighthearted spirit, maybe like a little elf, right? You're kind of bringing that sort of energy forward. If you ever watch sandpipers on the beach when they're hunting, is they will kind of pat their feet down to kind of bring out, the creatures that they're eating, but they splash, right? They kind of splash and it looks a little silly and it's fun. And the way they run, it looks like they're running on little toothpicks. Like they're so funny. You can't help but laugh or just, have a moment of joy. Because they're just kind of like a unique kind of silly look like a little cartoon creature, right? So playfulness, inner child playfulness is going to be really helpful. Okay. Yeah, especially when people are just taking things too seriously or just to lighten the mood. That's something that can be really fun. And I feel like is also a great strength for you. And this is probably something that you have, you've noticed, this year is like you have this strength of this playfulness and this humor and this joy that can really shift, not just your energy, right? But the energy around you when everybody's kind of stuck in their ego or stuck in their fears or stuck in their stress. You're kind of like that comedian that kind of like wakes people up and reminds them, to you kind of help them break out of their cycles or their what's the word? Their autopilot, their autopilot for the holidays. So we get into the tarot, we have the Five of Pentacles. So this could have to do with finances, but more so I'm feeling this has to do with your energy and where you're investing your time and energy, and be very clear about that. Because if you stretch yourself too thin, it could be that you are, going to be feeling a bit run down. So make sure you're taking the best care of yourself, your health and wellness. You're choosing, to get good rest and do things that are healthy for you. Clarifying that is the Lover. So it could also have to do with your partner. Your partner could be overcoming something, healing something, and you're helping to take care of them. But for others of you, maybe you're giving back to charity, you're giving back to others in ways that you can, and that's something that you feel called to do. But overall, it feels like being aware of the energy of the people around you and protecting your energy, right? Being aware of where you're focusing your energy. And also, just taking the best care of yourself, and kind of inspiring others by doing so. If you find yourself complaining and scarcity mindset, shift your mindset, focus on what you have, appreciate what you have, and then you will receive more blessings, right? Then we have the King of Cups and the Star. So the King of Cups is very much a masculine energy that is emotionally intelligent, right? This is also a masculine energy that is also intuitive. So this is somebody pouring out their love, pouring out their emotions. This could be towards you, or, this could be you in your experience, but you're also deciding what is best for you. With this card also, there could be somebody that's healing some sort of alcoholism or some sort of habit that's not healthy for them, you or someone that you know. And that's something that's coming through, because clarifying that is the Star. So there is alignment, and we're being shown very clearly here in December, like what is supportive of you, what habits, routines, patterns are supportive, and what are not. And the Star is about releasing and healing. So there's definitely this healing, this alignment, and this wish fulfillment. And oftentimes we want to manifest and call things into our experience, but we also need to be aware that in order to call that in, we need to align with it. And to align with it, that has to do with our thought patterns. It has to do with our habits and routines and things that kind of knock us out of our alignment, and being able to recognize those patterns and release them, or recognize those habits and release them, because this December is very much about you up leveling. Okay, that's what's coming through here. Then we have the Emperor energy coming through. So the Emperor energy is one of the higher level, high conscious masculine energies. This is somebody who's well established, someone who is really in their power, right? They maybe have a lot of responsibility, but it's like a lot of readers look at that as like the divine masculine or sacred masculine energy. So there's a lot of masculine energy here or around you, Libras. And then we also have the King of Swords. So we have leadership energy, and then we have the King of Swords energy, which is integrated experiences, the power of communication, the power of expressed words. So there is kind of this balance in leadership coming through of the emotional intelligence and the logic and the wisdom. Obviously the King of Swords is an air sign that connects in with Libra energy, so that may resonate with you very much. But there's expression of truth, there's healing, there's alignment, there's up-leveling. And then there is the Six of Cups, which is the acknowledgement of the past, the acknowledgement of soulmate energy, of siblings, the acknowledgement of sweet times and creating sweet memories, and also honoring and reflecting on those maybe who are not with us, on the earthly plane at this time. But it's remembering the fond things, and it's creating those experiences. And there's an innocence and a sweetness to the Six of Cups that is coming through here very strong. So there's a sense of honoring those that have crossed over. There's a sense of playfulness, again, with the Six of Cups, inner child healing happening here. And a lot of the inner child healing that happens leads to leadership, leads to up-leveling, leads to integrated wisdom, leads to self-love, leads to maturity. And there is a lot of maturity that is happening or has happened throughout this year. Now, when it comes to any sort of energy blockages, there is comparison. Comparing is unfair. Leave the past behind and see your new love for who they are. Now, that could be if you have been stuck in the past and, with some sort of X energy, and you haven't been present in welcoming in new love. But this could also be just comparison of like your own identity and your own relationship with yourself, of allowing yourself to release your old identity, release what you have outgrown, and embrace the present moment, and embrace what you're creating moving forward, where you are now in a much more healed and grounded and empowered self, an embodied self, than you were before, maybe at the beginning of the year. This is also saying, try not to compare your relationship to other relationships, or compare your success to other people's success, because oftentimes success is defined individually, right? Some people it's based just on their money. Some people it's their health and wellness. Some people it's their joy and their happiness. Some people, it's all of the above. So be very clear about what success is to you, your happiness, what, your relationship is to you, and what that means to you. Right? There's also kind of the energy of children and cousins, and really a sweetness that is surrounding December here. So there's the masculine strength and leadership energy coming through, with also the softness and the sweetness and the innocence of the Six of Cups. So there's kind of a beautiful balance, which is nice to see, and really is where you thrive, Libra. Okay. And if you were kind of struggling with the direction you wanted to take, it looks like you will be, gaining your clarity for sure, especially by your emotional healing, or, making some changes, some healthy changes for yourself. With that Emperor and that King of Swords energy, you're going to have a very clear direction or very clear idea of what it is that you want, right? You're also going to be very clearly expressing your needs. Now, when it comes to the romance angel energy, we have children. Your love life is being affected by children. So it could be that, it's cousins, it's family members, it's your own children. It could be your own inner child. It could be, people around you that have inner child wounds. That's something that is coming through. We have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Okay, so that could be coming towards you or what you're expressing. And we have let your friends help you. Ask and accept support from others. December can be really a challenging time for a lot of people because, like I said, we kind of reflect on memories. We reflect on, those that aren't with us anymore. And it is bittersweet and it is sad. But know that joy and sadness can exist, that the dualities can exist together. And it's okay to feel what you feel, but also reach out to friends, reach out to family members, reach out to those that can really hold loving, supportive space for you, right? That's something that's important. And for those of you that are completely single and wanting to call in a connection, with the let your friends help you, there's an element of maybe meeting somebody through friends. Okay, that's something that's coming through for December as well. But overall, it's just receive love and support, Libra, right? Like, you've been doing a lot of inner work. You've been healing physically, you've been healing emotionally, you've been healing, mentally as well. So there's definitely the sense of being able to lean on others and receive that support and express your boundaries and express your truth. When it comes to challenges, we have challenge freedom, set boundaries, and maintain them. And that's where I feel like you're coming from a place of self-love when you do that. You're coming from a place of fairness and leadership when you do that, right? And then your direction and advice is expect significant and happy changes. Okay. So there is this sense of really honoring the past and there's a balance of like honoring it all, really. And then there's also looking forward to the new and significant changes, the new energies that are coming in, the new opportunities. It's like I said, it's kind of bittersweet, and it does take emotional maturity to really kind of navigate this. And again, this could be more so a reflection of the whole year, so only take what resonates. We also have the angel of love coming through here for the holiday energy. So you're going to be feeling a lot of love, maybe a lot of angelic activity, loved ones from the other side expressing their love. Oftentimes during the holidays, that does happen. We have, our loved ones on the other side popping in, making their presence known, being a part of our celebrations in the energetic, and we can feel that love, So I'm getting a little teary, so I can definitely feel like you're going to feel the love, but it's going to be really healing. It's going to be really fulfilling for you. And also maybe validating for some of you that haven't really connected with or haven't had those like kind of mediumship experiences or know that your loved ones are near, in spirit. So that can be very enlightening and fulfilling. And there's a lot of love to be received and a lot of love to open up to. There's also happy new beginning, happy new year. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be significant, beautiful new year of celebration. We also have to become one. Okay, so for those of you, it could be a deepening of a connection, or there's a sense of coming together. There's a union energy here. There's a sweetness here. There's collaboration. There's harmony, right? And then together at last. So there's also that energy of being together and embracing it. And like I said, it's not just those that are in the physical. It's the spiritual as well that are surrounding and with love, or maybe moving around certain objects to let you know they're there, or playing, the radio might suddenly turn on and play a specific song, but there's communication and connection and their presence that is like surrounding. I'm seeing like, a family that is, on the earthly plane embodied, and then the spirit family, just kind of like surrounding with all of this love and all of this support and all of this joy. To the point it can bring tears. It can bring happy tears. It can create healing. And there's, this beautiful new beginning and happiness and, spending time together and joy and celebration. So I do feel like a lot of the messages that have come through here have been, kind of what you've been navigating throughout this year. But it does feel like in December there's celebration and joy and love and compassion and support, a lot of support, but there's also this beautiful leveling up that's happening, new heights and personal development and expansion. So, wow, that is a lot, Libra, but I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. Receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Never give your power away to reading or outcome, like I said. And check out your moon, rising, and Venus signs for more messages if you feel, guided to do that, or you felt like this didn't resonate with you. Take the best care of yourself, and I will see you soon.